Well, it's been a while since I posted a video, and I've had several people asking me about the Medium Nucs that I use, the 5-frame Nucs, and what kind of sizes. So I thought I would do a video on how to make the Nucs. Let's go inside the workshop and let's put together some 5-frame Medium Nucs. Alright, here we are setting up the miter saw so that I can cut some lengths off to build a standard Langstroth nuc and 10-frame box. What we're going to do now is first measure the long side, which is going to be 19 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll use the C-clamp here to hold the stop in place at 19 1/8 inch. And then what I'll do is I'll take a carpenter square and place it here and make sure that my stop is square. Lift that up, make that square there, and it is square. Here's a scrap piece of 1x12 that I found in my warehouse. It's kind of dirty, but that doesn't really matter. It's got some bummed up areas on the edge. I'm going to just cut that part off and then start cutting my 19 1/8 inch pieces. And before you get started, it's always a good idea to use your safety glasses, ear protection, and I always like to wear some gloves. Just you know, if a blade's going to hit your skin, it's going to rip your skin. If it's going to hit your gloves, it's not going to do good for your glove and skin either, but it's just one more layer of protection that I like. Alright, I've got it readjusted, more exact to 19 1/8 inch. This one, and it is right on 19 1/8. Now what I've done is I've made a 16 1/4 spacer, so when I set this right at the edge of my 19 1/8 inch stop, then at this point from here to the blade is 16 1/4 inches, which is the length that you want for a 10-frame box. Alright, but today we're going to be making a 5-frame Nuc box, and I've done this with several different widths, and what I have found is that well, using 1x material, that is the finished edge is 3/4 of an inch. When I use that, if I take the outside measurements to 9 1/8 inch, that gives me well, between 9 1/8 and 9 3/16 of an inch. That gives me enough space inside here that I can pull the frames apart and easily lift them out. I have made some that were just 9 inches, and that just made it too tight for my preferences. I guess the bees would like it that way, but as far as a beekeeper's manipulation of the frames, I think if you make this just a little bit wider, between 9 1/8 and 9 and what's that, 3/16, and the inside width is right at 7 5/8 of an inch. So if you're using rough cut wood, you would want your inside dimensions to be 7 5/8. Alright, I've got our stop set here at 9 1/8, actually just a hair more than 9 1/8, probably closer to 9 3/16. We'll make one cut, we'll measure to verify, and then we'll cut several of those. And donning my ear protection. and gloves. Verify, and we're right on it, so we're good. All right, we've got the boards cut to length that we want. That is 19 1/8 for the long piece, and about 9 1/8 to 9 3/16 width for a 5-frame Nuc. So now what we're going to do is set up the table saw to cut the width, which will eventually be the depth of our Nuc. And I do all mediums. Occasionally I'll do something that's in a deep, but 95% of everything that I've got is in mediums, both the brood section and the super, the honey section. So this is 6 5/8 height, and so I'll adjust the fence on the table saw to 6 5/8, and I'll rip all of these pieces to the depth that will eventually be the depth of the mating Nuc. So anyway, I'll set this down, I'll set up the fence on the table saw, and we'll get back at it. First of all, let's raise this all the way up and make sure that we're at 90 degrees. 6 5/8 right here. Alright, so now we'll take each board and take a look and see if there's a bad section we're going to cut off. So I don't know if you can see right there, but there's a crack in this wood here, and so we're gonna trim it so that crack is not part of our 6 5/8 that we're going to keep. Alright, now that we have all the end pieces and the side pieces cut and ripped to the width, the depth that we want them, then it's just a matter of changing this blade to our dado, and we'll put a 3/4 inch by 3/8 of an inch depth dado in here, 3/4 of an inch wide. We'll now remove this blade here and put the dado blades on. Set this aside. Each one of these dado blades is 1/8 of an inch. So we want a total cut of 3/4 of an inch. I've made me a gauge so that I can use to measure this, and this gauge is for the top rail, and then for the this one's for the top rail, and then this is for the side rail it's going to allow. So you can put that in there like that. So that's what we're going to cut. So first we will cut this side, which is going to be this one right here, which is 3/4 inch wide and 3/8 inch deep. 3/8 inch deep, 3/4 inch wide. So then what I'll do is I'll take a scrap piece, here, and test my measurement, my adjustment with the scrap piece. Okay, so we've got the end pieces. We've got the end pieces cut here, and so now what we're going to do is cut the top dado out here to hold the frames in, the frame rests. So it's just a matter of readjusting the fence width, which I will need to take a couple of dado blades out. So I won't have to adjust the height of the dado, but I will need to adjust the fence. The dado adjustment made, we can now cut one of these along the top. Now with the pieces already pre-cut, we take the end pieces with the side dado and the top dado, and then the end pieces are the side pieces, which have no other additional cuts. They're just cut to length. So put it like that. There you go. Square it up. Put some Titebond 2 or Titebond 3 glue on the edges. Some staples. And paint it, and you're ready to go with a 5-frame Nuc. Now, the only difference between the medium and the deeps is the width that you cut your end pieces and the side pieces. All right, well, thanks. I hope you all enjoyed that. Happy beekeeping.